Anyways, y'all, this is the next video. It's basically like, you know, the same thing, kind of. Don't even know. And I'm still eating my taco, even though I have not bit my taco or not even a bite, not even a single bite, man. But anyways, y'all, stay tuned for more videos. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and let's react to this video, man. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Today, we're going to be reacting to, yeah, I'm going to blurt that out. They amuse themselves on their road trip by doing this. I think I already watched this before, but I think it was a different guy. But let's see, man.
The movie starts with our lead, Darla, canoodling with a random man in an empty classroom.
Oh, that's dirty, though.
Meeting. Once Darla is done, she gets up to leave. The man asks her to help him up, but Darla simply walks out of the room.
Oh, that's cold.
As she's getting out of the room, Darla bumps into Bailey. Darla pulls out a cigarette and is about to light it up when Bailey tells Darla to not smoke in there. Darla jokes about it and makes fun of getting cancer from smoking. Bailey does not respond to her and walks into the cancer support group meeting next door. Darla feels embarrassed, but she does not give it much thought and decides to walk away. After that, Darla heads into her sexual addiction recovery meeting. As Darla enters her meeting, she sees the same random man she's canoodled with managing the meeting.
That's
cold. Her meeting leader. Darla tries to get him to sign her slip, but the man is angry at the way Darla treated him. Having no other choice, Darla is forced to attend the meeting. Meanwhile, there's Bailey, who is a newbie at the cancer support group meeting.
That's cold.
As a newbie, Bailey gets the turn to introduce himself and talk about his diagnosis, but Bailey refuses to and asks the group to move on. The next day, Bailey is at his gym when his angry girlfriend Elizabeth walks in. Bailey has been having a hard time getting over Elizabeth. Bailey tries making new plans with Elizabeth, but she outrightly shuts him out. Meanwhile, Darla is fired from her writing job because she screwed a coworker.
What?
That night, Bailey shows up at Elizabeth's hangout place after seeing her Instagram story. Bailey tries to tell Elizabeth about his cancer, but he keeps on drinking wine glass after glass until Elizabeth tells him she's on a date. Devastated, Bailey has no other choice but to walk out. On the other side of town, Darla is at her addiction meeting. Mid-session, a drunk Bailey walks in on the group meeting by mistake and announces his diagnosis. Bailey recognizes Darla and is about to mention her meeting with the group leader when Darla instantly gets up and tells the group they're about to leave. Bailey complies and lets Darla guide her out of the room. Darla takes Bailey to a diner. When she's pulling out some tissues to give to Bailey, Darla pulls out a brochure and places it on the table. Darla tells Bailey that as a part of this addiction meeting, they're supposed to make a list of all the places where they've canoodled and then circle it on the map. A suggestion that Bailey jokingly makes takes a hit in Darla's mind. Darla convinces Bailey to go on a cross-country trip with her. Bailey is a little skeptical, but agrees on the condition to visit Dallas so he can reignite things with Elizabeth. The next day, Darla goes to her former boss, Tanya, and tries to persuade her into giving her job back, but it doesn't work.
I think she gets revenge, though, I'm not gonna lie.
Her experience of the road trip in the magazine and hopes of getting her job back. Tanya agrees, and Darla is over the moon.
On a job site, you have that on? Man, I don't know.
After getting
a lot of jobs are very strict with what you wear, though, I'm not gonna lie.
Car at Bailey's door. Bailey hops in the convertible, and the two of them.
Bro, that's sad, though, the way that the other girl dumped her, you know, her partner. It's crazy.
After she is peed, Darla and Bailey canoodle. Later that night, Darla and Bailey stay at a motel. Darla lets Bailey sleep on the bed and then goes off to the bathroom to write her blog post for the day. The next day, after Bailey comes back from his morning run, he takes a picture of Darla. Bailey has taken quite a lot of pictures of her and them together. Bailey walks up to Darla and she's working on her blog. Bailey asks about it, but Darla changes the subject and gets into the shower.
I feel it's gonna get to the point that they're both in the wrong, you know. He's doing it to get revenge on his ex.
At every stop Darla has ever done the deed. In a total of 8 states, Darla and Bailey reenact all of the canoodling adventures of Darla. Meanwhile, Darla keeps on blogging about her road trip with Bailey and her.
He's trying to, yeah. She's trying to get a blog or whatever, you know, and he's trying to get revenge, so they're both in the wrong.
Darla sees Bailey drawing on a piece of tissue.
I'm not saying she's doing something wrong, I'm just saying that she's writing something, I think, about them or about, I don't know. Y'all see what I'm talking about. But they end up being in the wrong, y'all see.
But Bailey does not want to talk about it, and so Darla drops the subject. Darla decides to resume their hookup adventure. At their next stop, Darla is a little hesitant, but she still goes inside the house with Bailey. Once inside, Darla gets overwhelmed and her eyes well up. After much of Bailey's insistence, Darla opens up about it. Darla had canoodled at that house with a man she did not know was married. The wife walked in on them, and then she drove off in such a fury that she had a car crash that left her paralyzed for the rest of her life. Darla still remembers the disgust in that woman's eyes. Darla still has not recovered from her guilt from that encounter. Darla and Bailey decide to leave. Bailey lets Darla rest and takes the steering wheel for the next part of the trip. Darla sleeps during the entire drive while Bailey drives. Okay guys, quick pause to remind you to comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. On with the recap. The next morning, Darla wakes up in Dallas. Bailey has brought them to his parents' house. Darla is beyond horrid because she thought he was joking when he put the condition on their trip. Bailey asks Darla to pretend to be his girlfriend for the time they're there. Bailey does not want his parents to think he's in a mess, and so bringing home a new girlfriend solves that. Darla contemplates driving away, but still stays back. Later that night, dinner with Bailey's parents is an adventure. Bailey tells his parents that he met Darla at the cancer support group as she has breast cancer. Darla is seemingly horrified, but decides to go along with the story. Bailey's parents are kind enough towards Darla, but they are openly dismissive of Bailey's drawing skills, and so Darla is on fire to negate everything they have to say. Bailey's mom wants Bailey to get back together with Elizabeth because she too married her high school sweetheart. After dinner, Bailey shows Darla his bedroom. The two of them sit down on his bed and...
But didn't the ex already leave him or cheat on him though? Like she was already in a date, so nah, man.
Who would want to be with him after cancer? Darla comforts Bailey, saying
crazy.
No one cares about cancer as long as the guy is good. After a little light conversation, the two of them decide to go to Elizabeth's house to recreate Bailey's experience of losing his virginity. Darla agrees and they head out. At Elizabeth's house, Darla and Bailey wait outside until they're in the clear. Once all is clear, Darla and Bailey sneak into Elizabeth's room. Darla is amused by how babyish Elizabeth's room is.
That's crazy.
Darla's quick to get on with the hookup, but Bailey tells Darla that recreating his experience has to be his way. Darla lets Bailey take the charge. After they're done, the two of them run away back to their car and drive off to Bailey's house. The next day, while Darla is in the shower, Bailey steals a look at Darla's tablet. Bailey comes to find the blog that Darla has been writing about them. Bailey does not say anything to Darla as they have to attend a party at Elizabeth's house, and Darla is his girlfriend for the event. At the party, Bailey avoids Darla.
That's how. This is where it gets started.
Bailey's eyes keep searching for Elizabeth, but she's nowhere to be seen. While Darla is nudging Bailey, Bailey brings up Darla's supposed journaling. Darla covers up. Right then, Bailey sees Darla coming down the stairs. Bailey grabs Darla and kisses her just so Elizabeth can see them together, and she does. When Elizabeth sees Bailey, she's a little thrown off by his new girlfriend. Bailey and Darla catch up on the last 2 weeks, and then Darla introduces herself. Elizabeth mentions that she's been keeping up with Bailey's Instagram posts about her. Darla is confused, but Bailey does not let her slip up and covers his track. Once Elizabeth is taken off to see other guests at the party, Darla confronts Bailey about using her to make Elizabeth jealous by posting about them on Instagram. As a counterattack, Bailey tells Darla that he has read her blogs. Things get out of hand when Darla threatens to tell everyone about Bailey's cancer, and she almost does, but then decides against her better judgment. Darla leaves the party and drives away in her car. Later that night, Darla is contemplating her life at a bar. A guy comes up to her and tries to flirt with her. Without thinking twice, Darla is canoodling with the random man in her car, and in the middle of the Darla stops and tells the man to get out. The man leaves, and Darla breaks down in tears. The next day, Bailey is at his room, and Elizabeth comes in with some sandwiches. Bailey is still embarrassed from the events of the previous day, but Elizabeth jokes about it. Elizabeth tells Bailey that she only wanted time out so they could know for sure if they were...
There's no time out.
As the two of them had never dated anyone else. Right then, Bailey tells Elizabeth about his surgery and she's supportive of it. The two of them decide to get back together and move back to Atlanta.
What?
Meanwhile,
No!
Darla goes to her mom, Betty's place. Betty shares the destructive nature that Darla has gotten from her. Betty invites Darla out along with her boyfriend, Bill, but Darla turns it down. Later that night, Bailey and Elizabeth are having dinner together with their families. During dinner, Elizabeth brings up Bailey's new diagnosis, making the two families worry for Bailey and his future with Elizabeth. He is furious with Elizabeth for sharing the news, and so he gets up and leaves. Meanwhile, Darla
Don't mind me
is
using a
spending
shirt.
time at
I don't
Betty's
have a
place.
tissue.
Darla's having a hard time finishing up the
Or a
last
paper
log
towel.
entry of her road trip with Bailey. Darla opens the map for a reference guide for a trip down her memory lane. Darla is surprised to see little drawings that Bailey has made for her across the map. Darla is touched, and for the first time in her life, she feels loved. In that moment of vulnerability, Darla decides to have a little chat with Betty. Darla tells Betty about her addiction, but Betty rejects the attempts to discuss addiction. The next morning, Bailey and Elizabeth arrive in Atlanta. On their way out of the airport, Bailey realizes that he missed Elizabeth, but he did not miss being with her. Bailey tells Elizabeth that being together should be because they want to be, and not because it's the only option available. Bailey realizes that the two of them have outgrown their relationship, and Elizabeth agrees. Bailey and Elizabeth decide to part ways in a respectable and friendly manner. On the other side of the country,
Respectable.
Darla wakes up to her mom fixing her car for her.
Oh.
Darla is touched, and even more so when Betty offers to make some breakfast before Darla hit the road again. Tears well up in Darla's eyes. The mother-daughter duo is finally on good terms. Back in Atlanta, Bailey decides to go to a cancer support group that he had initially hated. Unlike the last time when Bailey refuses to talk, Bailey
Now he
shares
talks.
his diagnosis this time around. Bailey
Very
reveals to the
good.
group that he had been scared of his cancer and that not talking about it seems like it did not exist. Bailey also tells the group about the road trip he took to clear his mind and how he met Darla. Right when Bailey starts talking about Darla, Darla happens to pass by the meeting room. Darla stops midway when he sees Bailey. Bailey confesses that he liked Darla because she was not grossed out by his cancer. Darla is touched once again, so she joins the group meeting pretending to have breast cancer. Darla shares her side of the story, and in between the lines, Darla also makes an apology to Bailey for the way she behaved. A few days later, Darla is with Bailey at the hospital for his surgery, but only as a friend. Darla and Bailey remain close friends throughout Bailey's cancer journey. Meanwhile, Bailey starts his new job as an illustrator, whereas Darla does get her job back.
Let's
But
go!
she quits and decides to write her book. Darla has also completed a whole year in therapy for her addiction. After a year, Bailey's cancer is in remission. Bailey and Darla decide to go on their official first date together. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
But anyways, y'all, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I know what to do, man. But hey, I'm not gonna say too much. Y'all see the progress they was going on, but it's still crazy though. But he did leave his ex in good terms, so you should do the same in case if something was to happen. Try to do it in good terms. But I don't wish anything bad to happen to any of y'all. I wish the best out of the best thing for all of y'all. But anyways, excuse me, y'all. Anyways, y'all already know. Stay tuned for more videos. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And as always, God bless y'all. And let's get right into the next one. Let's go. Let's go.